Hey guys, Cal Snake here, back in the wood shop with a fun and entertaining little project for you. As anybody who knows me knows, I'm all about secret compartments and wooden locking mechanisms. I just absolutely love that kind of stuff. And so this year, I made a promise that to all my customers and my fans out there that I was going to focus more this year on furniture and furniture type products, and I'm just going to keep the puzzles in the secret room for now. But I got more interesting, exciting information on that too coming up. But anyway, for today, what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to walk through really quickly on how to make these little wall mount shelves. Now the cool thing about these shelves are they hang up, they're going to look great when they're all painted. However, what you don't know is that up above is a secret compartment. How awesome. Stick around to the end and I'll show you what I got in there. It's maybe chocolate or something. We'll see. Alright, so let's begin. So the first thing I did is I got some 1x8 and I cut them 24 inches long. Now you can make them as big or as small as you want. It's up to you really. And then I cut 4 shelves at 12 inches long. Now just due to the randomness of the material that I'm able to get, what I had to do is I had to rip these all so that they were a common width. And then I also ripped these ones down so that they were a 1/4 inch smaller, or not as wide as the sides are. I'm not sure if you can see that on the video, but that's what we've done there. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to lay out for my shelves. I'm going to do a small shallow dado in here to support my shelves. And so all I did was equally space them. But what's going to make this cabinet unique is this top here. So this little space you're seeing up here is going to be free space for you to store your valuables, whatever it may be. Maybe it's just a chocolate bar. Works for me. So to get that information, what I had to do is I had to just lay my sides down here, pretend this is my top, and I take my little piece of sample crown molding and I place that up here. And then what's going to happen in this design is there's going to be another layer to this trim that's attached to the cabinet, and this is going to go underneath of it, and it's going to come down halfway onto where this shelf is, so it has a really nice step look when it's all done. So the next part now I want to do is I want to route out for these shelves. What I've done now is I've got this little jig I've used for other projects. It's nice and square, and what it allows me to do is it allows me to feed my piece in here, and I can run my router with my 3/4 inch dado bit in here, and I can set it in here and I can cut out really nice because it stays in between this channel. So that's what we're going to do. Now I just crudely screwed these in. This project's going to get painted after, so you're never really going to see this, but it sure makes it nice and secure to hold on. You could probably cut these dados a million different ways. You can use your router table, you can maybe use the table saw, whatever works for you. But for sake of simplicity, I'm just going to go with this method. have the two sides ready to go, all matched up, mated up, and we're ready to put the little recess rabbet on the back side to receive the back. And we're probably going to do a little sanding on here to clean this up, freshen it up. It's a bit oxidized, and that's our next step. So now the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put a rabbet down the back edge of this shelf side so it'll receive the back. So what's going to happen is this stays out front here, and you can see how much we have to rabbet out. So the way I mark that out is I basically just set this so that these edges are flush, and then I can see, if you can zero in on that there, where that is. Okay. And then we just want to go close to the edge but not all the way to it. We want to have a good nailing surface. So I'm going to route these up on the router, and we'll go from there. Ready for the next step, which is probably gluing them together. Alright, so the next thing we want to do, now that we've got these rabbets all cut, the potatoes are cut, it's sanded, and we're going to want to glue these in. So we keep it flush to the front, and look at how nice this is flush with the back side here. So the back is going to go on just lovely. Okay, so I'm going to get this glued up, and I'll show you what I did after I did that. Alright, so here we go, got the glue in there. We're getting clamps on here. It's a bit of a tricky process all by yourself. It might be good to have somebody help you. Maybe. Either that or you're a super patient person. So I do one side first, and I flip it over, and I do the other side. And then when this is all done, I will sand up the face frames. And I will put in the back, and I'll show you how this special stuff on the top works. I think you'll like that. It's all clamped up. Okay, that's a bad joke. I use Q-tips sometimes to wipe out the glue. Sometimes you get a little squeeze out. They're just the thing for getting in there. Alright, that's it for now. I'm going to come back in maybe an hour, 2 hours, and I'll come back and take the clamps off and we'll sand them up and see where we go from there. Alright, so here we are. We have the shelf out of the clamps now, and we're ready to give it a sand on the surface edges and on the bottom. So I'm just going to do that quickly, okay? There we go, all nice and leveled up, ready for the next step. Okay. Alright, so next I ripped up some pieces of wood that would bring me down to just somewhere in there from the top, and I put a little route on there, and so it's going to look like that when it's done. So see how nicely that hides that? It looks all quite natural. You wouldn't really second guess to think that there's a space up top. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some angles on here, some miters, and then we're going to get them all attached, okay? We have our 3 pieces of trim cut. 45s on each end. This top sits on here like this, and then this piece goes on here like so. And we're pretty much just going to glue them and clamp them. This top one, though, there's not much to clamp to, so I'll probably put a couple of little nails through it. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to get on to the next stage. So here we are, it's all glued up, it's out of the clamps now. I gave it a little sand just to make sure it's all nice and tidy. And now there's lots of ways you can do this. You can just do the math and figure out what you got. This is 1 5/8 crown molding, so in other words, if you measure against this flat surface out to this edge, you get 1 5/8. But I like to see it all together, right? I like to see what I'm looking at. So when you cut all these pieces, and you want to be good at this compound miter business. Anyway, it's going to look like that. And then the reason I do it this way is because now I can get my measurement for the top piece that sits on top of all of this. And this isn't going to get glued to this surface. This is only going to get glued to the bottom top part. Okay? And so I'm going to work on that next, and I'll meet you back here and we'll have this all glued. Okay, so we're back here and we have the top cut, and it's basically a 1/2 inch bigger than the total size of this. And so just for purposes of laying it out, you want to put the routed side facing up. And you set this piece upside down on here like that. And then you take your little crown molding pieces and you set them on. And this helps give you an idea what it's going to look like. Now it's upside down, but anyway. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to glue these crown molding pieces to the top, but not to here. So what will happen is when you want to access it, you'll just be able to tilt the top off of this, and it'll always just sit on there just nice. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do next. Alright, so I got all my clamps on, and I just love these red clamps. These things are awesome. And with this design, it really has this nice flat spot in the design, like this upside down here. And so when you clamp, oh, it holds it on there just beautifully.
I couldn't get it.
And so as you can see, it's just glued to that. This part can actually come right out now, and you can set it off to the side while this dries. And when we come back, what we'll have it all sanded up, and we're going to put a back on here. I haven't decided what kind of back just yet. We'll have to see. And we'll show you how that's done. So I cut up some of these back pieces. They're just like this 1/4 inch knotty pine tongue and groove stuff. It kind of comes in a kit form in a bag or something, or a little bundle. Anyway, so I cut them all up, and I'm going to put them onto my back here. So I'm putting the nice side down, and I will nail them on. Now with my third piece in there, ready for my last, I'm going to set this up here. I'm going to mark where to cut this. So I'll just I ripped it, I'll set this last piece in, and we're good to go. And there's our back on there. Doesn't that look pretty? So here you can see the space up in the top. This is all your secret storage area, and easily accessible. So the idea is that you hang it up on the wall, up just so high that only you can reach in, and tilt the lid up to reach inside. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Alright, so there you have it. That was a pretty simple build. All that's left now is to do the painting. I'm probably going to get to that another day. I think I have some elves in my shop that want to help with that. So I don't know that we're on the same time schedule. But one good day, these things will get all painted and hung up. But for now, here they are. So it's awesome. It looks like just a nice little shelf. However, up here, and here's the magic. And you got about 1.5 inches in there, and you can put whatever you want in there. Ooh, some cigarettes. Ooh, scary. Anyway, check out the Etsy site if you want to learn how to build these. Thank you.